Hello friends. So in this video, we'll look at what anthropology means, or what is the syllabus of anthropology, or what are the books that you have to follow for anthropology. These are some of the basic doubts that students have in their mind. So in this video, we'll comprehensively see all the sections in the syllabus and all the books which are relevant for the syllabus, and we'll go one by one. So before starting this, I want to say there should be a need for curiosity in a subject. Before you choose a subject, there should be curiosity in that. Curiosity comes from this question of why. So in anything that you do in civil services, if you are a person pursuing civil services, I want you to ask this question of why. So why to choose a particular option, why to choose a particular topic, why to choose or read a particular newspaper. All this is very important, and if you go in search of this question, you will find good answers for your mains, you will find good answers for your options, and you will find good answers for your UPSC career as well. So that is what I am going to start. So by reading this, what and all we are going to solve is what I am going to talk about now. Why you have to study anthropology is that many of the questions, many of the unanswered questions, you will find the answers in anthropology. For example, one question is this missing link. What is this question of missing link, you may ask me. This was asked in my interview also. So once they asked me this question of, and you would have seen so many people asking about this missing link. So what is this missing link? If you think about it, human beings evolved from primates, or in a crude word, they will say monkeys. So they will say, see, if human beings have evolved from monkeys, where is the missing link? So we don't look exactly like a monkey. We look different. Where is that missing link? Now, there is nothing in between. So directly, how did we come from monkeys to humans? So that is what is the question they will ask, you know. And the problem is that they never go in search of answers. They never go in search of answers. There is evidences. So what are the evidences? That is what you will study in as first part. So please, you can note this down also. In the first part of anthropology syllabus is biological anthropology. This is the part which will actually have the maximum marks. This is the part which has the maximum marks in 250 marks. So I am talking about paper 1. In 250 marks, you will nearly cover around 80 to 90 marks. The answer for this simple question, if you start finding, you will find an answer for 80 marks in your mains. So what are those portions is what I'm going to show you now. So that comes in this part. So look at this part. In this, you can check the syllabus as well. In this, do check this section on phylogenetic status 1.6. Okay, see, you can look at this 1.6. All this Homo erectus, Australopithecus, Neanderthals, Rhodesian man, Homo sapiens. See, all this may seem like a technical term, but these are nothing but answers to the questions that you were asking, or many of the people are asking. The missing link. So from how we evolved from a primate, or a crude word again, a monkey, to a human, is what is this syllabus which is there in this part, 1.6. So in this part, if you cover this part, see exactly if you cover this part, this will be the maximum scoring part, and you can feel a little bit vulnerable or scared that these words are, you know, Homo erectus. What is this Homo erectus? What is this Heidelbergensis? What is this Neanderthal, Rhodesian man? You should not worry, because that is why I am here. So I am the person who should tell you how this fits into this puzzle. The question you have asked is correct. The question that everyone is asking, where is the missing link? But the puzzle, when we solve, you will know that this is one of the most exciting topics in civil services. So the next question. So first, this is what is the biological anthropology. And for this, maybe I'll with the flow itself, I'll talk about the books also. In the last slide, I will cover the complete book list. So for this, what I would suggest is that in civil services, again, one more major problem in civil services is that we don't go for the books which are necessary. Rather, we only start collecting notes. Okay, notes will always be there, but Ember and Ember. Okay, Ember and Ember. This is the standard book that you have to have in order for you to understand this portion clearly. First thing, if we go wrong in this itself, everything will go wrong. But Ember and Peanuts. So this is the book that I would suggest, and I would also give you. I would give you this notes in the class itself. So in the class, we will be discussing each topic, and we will also be discussing what and all are necessary for the questions to be written and things like that. So this is the first part I was going to say. The next, so this is completely biological anthropology. You can note it clearly, 1.6. So the next section will be, this is actually, okay. So in this first, so this why I kept it here means this is the missing link, but these are the portion which leads to that portion. So primarily we will be looking in this section about how this came about. In a sense, these are all examples of the fossils which are there, or people who are there in the puzzle, but how they came about. So there was a person you might definitely know, is called as Darwin. So that person gave this theory of how this puzzle came about, how this tree was built. So that we'll see in this whole portion. So this is the starting. This whole comprises of biological anthropology. The next important section is the cultural anthropology. So you should, next question. See, as I go along, every section. So first section is biological anthropology. The second section is cultural anthropology. Here you should ask again why I should read this section. Every time in mains, or sorry, in optional paper, we refuse to ask question. That is why once you complete the option, we'll be stranded nowhere. We'll be thinking, what is this notes which I have? What is this syllabus which is there? What is the question they are asking? While you are preparing itself, you should know that this question you should keep on asking. In civil services, primarily, in GS paper also, please do ask where this question is connected to my prelims question, where this question is connected to my mains question. If you refuse to ask this question, you will be sitting there with only the notes. So now coming back to this question of cultural anthropology, why you should read? Because, see, many of the things, one example I'll tell you. This you might very well know, friendship. This actually developed, if I say, because of these or because of anthropology. If I say this means it might sound like I'm extrapolating things, but anthropology is behind the development of friendship. If I say, you should ask again why. I'll give you an example. In terms of how this friendship develops, you assume a forest. So you go into a forest. So you are inside a forest, and the point is that you are actually going for hunting. So imagine this scenario. You are going for hunting, and what happens is that you get a large meat. Okay, a large meat. The meat you will not be able to eat yourself. You have so much of meat, and you hunt and you come back to the forest. Again, you come back to the home. What do you do with this meat? The meat will go waste, See, you cannot store there. There is no fridge and all in the forest. It will go waste. So instead of going waste, you can share. Okay. This is the start of one of the fossils. See, one of the fossil human. See, here we saw that missing puzzle, right? From monkey to humans, the missing puzzle. One of the missing puzzle, what they did in the forest is they shared. And this habit of sharing has become so prominent. Now this has become what is called as friendship. And that is what everyone does in the morning. First thing that you wake up, you share something, share a meme. Earlier it was messages. Earlier, before that, something else. But definitely we are in a, see, the person may be in USA or Australia or wherever they are. Definitely everyone shares something. Sharing a meme, it's not an easy thing. You share something to a person, that means that you want to have that friendship, and that friendship is what develops into kinship. That friendship is what develops into kinship. And you should also know that friendship also has a biological trait adapted to it, or a biological or see, one type of friendship is human and same personality friendship, and the other friendship is marriage and family. So you should know each of these different types of, and both are friendship da. Like Sasi Kumar says, nattu da romba mukkiyam. It's true fact. See, why it is true means it is actually bonded into our DNA. And that is how you developed all these cultural phenomena. If you look at all the syllabus, this is the second part. If you see this closely, watch this syllabus, this is the second part of anthropology, very important part, which is called as the cultural part. Here you will learn about society, and as I said, marriage, family, kinship, economic relationship, and one more thing is there, which is called as religion. So religion will be there. All this friendship, bonding and things will always be layered, okay, layered by, or it is like the poovoda nar madri. These are all flowers, okay, but I should not say like that, but anyways, these are all flowers. This is like religion is like that backbone. So religion is like that backbone. It will be crossing in every path, okay, it is not going to be in one path. So that is what you will study, that is what you will study in cultural anthropology. And this section, okay, well, this section, if you see it also, previous section I would have said you would score around 80 marks, I think. So this section also 80 marks. In 250 marks, both these sections actually comprise a lot of important weightage. And for this section, again, people do the same mistake of going to notes. This section is in Ember and Ember. And I will also give you notes. Okay, I will also give you notes. These two sections, biological anthropology and cultural anthropology, if you look at in Ember and Ember, it will be a very important step that you are taking in terms of anthropology. So this is the two part that I wanted to say. The next part, so we'll go to the next part. And in this, religion and language also will be there. The next important part is called as the genetics part. So if you watch this closely, the next third important part. So again, you can ask me this question, why? So why should I study anthropology? So in terms of this is where the whole, or this part, okay, this is where the whole reason, or not reason, or secret. Okay, there is a book called A Secret. What is the secret of life? If somebody asks you, what is the meaning of life? So next, last, see, finally you will ask this question, right? Everyone, first I asked what is the missing link. Simple question. Then everybody goes to this point of what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? Where did all this come from? Why did all this come from? All this comes from this syllabus, which is called as DNA. So this meaning of life, what is life? This is a question that many of the philosophers went into. There is a book by quantum physicist Schrodinger, and it talks about this. He is a physicist who actually got this Nobel Prize on physics, but he talks about DNA. He says every meaning of life that you want to see is actually ingrained in your DNA. That is the book that he has written. But Anna, he talks about physics and biology together. So that is the whole thing. And that is what is the third part. See, look at this part. This is the third part. And this part actually comprises of a little bit 60. So the source for this is Pnath. Okay. Two books I suggested initially. One was Ember and Pnath, and the source for this is actually Pnath. And I'll tell you one interesting fact. See, how does somebody say that this DNA is the meaning of life, or how does Schrodinger say means? See, I'll tell you one fact. If you take, your body actually has trillions of cells. Okay, your body actually has trillions of cells. I think it is around 33 trillion or something. You take one cell out. Okay, so you have to take one cell out. Each cell will have this DNA. Okay, your body has trillions of cells, nearly 33 trillion, not billion, trillion cells. So each will have a cell. What you have to do is you have to go back and you have to pull in one cell and you pull in the DNA out. Okay, from one cell, you pull in the DNA out. Like that, if you pull in the DNA out from all your cell, okay, like that, if you pull in the DNA of all your cell, you put it across into a rope. Okay, you put it across into a rope. You know where that rope will reach? Same from your body, I'm going to take the DNA that you are carrying. I am making into a rope. That rope will reach the extent of solar system. See, the solar system comprised of our solar system, the sun, the planets, the solar system distance that we are trying to cover. Each of us are walking with a rope which is actually covering that distance. We are standing here 5 feet 6, 5 feet 7, 5 feet 6 inches tall or something like that. But every cell in your body, you pull it out. That is how much this universe likes you, no? That is why he went into this fact of why this meaning of life. That is what you should learn in anthropology genetics. So reading just like that, genetics part, cultural part, everything is good. But see, you are covering a portion which is actually significant for the whole universe. So when you read like this and club it with Pnath, see, this is the part. Club it with Pnath, 60 mark. When you club it together, you will clearly get this mains, no? So why do we worry about this clearing or notes or things like that? Try to finish off the syllabus in a way that it is helpful for you in your mains. So this is the genetics part, and it covers, see, it will cover a detailed amount of all this. It will cover. Okay. In this, the next part, and the next important one more. I think one more slide is there. Okay, one more slide will be there. Okay. Whether I think one more slide is there, but anyways, okay, 9.6. This. Okay, so this is the part. Third part, 3 parts I have said, which is called as the genetics part. The fourth is in anthropology. The fourth very important part is about human differences. Okay, human differences. This is the part, or in a sense, see, you have studied cultural, you have studied biological, then you have to read why we are so different. So this part will talk about what is called as race. This part will talk about what is called as adaptation, or why somebody is tall, why somebody is dark. For me, for example, personally, I used to have this question of why I am, see, everybody in the TV is talking about Fair and Lovely, but Anna, I am putting Fair and Lovely, but why am I not turning into a person like, those who see in the TV? I used to have this question break my head. That is the point. Why? Why I used to think why every god is white? Why every person, you see in the movie is white? When I am not able to see myself as a white person in the mirror. That is because you should know that these differences arose, again, anthropology. There are differences among human beings that arose that we should study. And that is an important question, definite question. 9 point, here you will see that, okay, 9.6, 9.5. Okay, so these are 9.5, 9.7, 9.6. These are things which are very, very essential for anthropology. Okay, these are very, very essential for understanding human differences, but this is very, very essential for anthropology as a syllabus. So you have to read it. So this is the fourth part, and the fifth part. So we'll go to the next. See, I am actually giving a comprehensive picture in detail, one by one. We have to see in class. Here, the syllabus where you have to cover means same. So where this has to be covered, because see, many of the students ask me this question of they have covered this. See, they have studied again. They say that they have studied it, but again, they are not able to understand. Why you are not able to understand is that you sat with the syllabus with your notes, but this is there in Ember and Peanath. Okay, Ember and Peanath. This section also you have to cover it in Ember and Peanath. I will give you notes as well. Okay, so now we will go to the next. So not last. Okay, next section, that is fourth, fifth section. So why you have to study, or in a sense, why as civil servants you have to study? Why as civil servants you have to study anthropology is that one of the most important or topics here is this forensic anthropology. You will have somewhere around here. Forensic anthropology. You will have, okay, some DNA technology and diseases, and this paternity diagnosis, genetic counseling, all this forensic anthropology. Now, you will have it here. See, look at this. Okay, it is there. In a sense, forensic anthropology is that you become an IPS officer, and you will know that you will face crimes every day. So you become an IPS officer. How do you solve that? See, this fingerprinting, DNA things. Forensic anthropology is becoming more important evidence in our day-to-day life, and it will become more important as you enter. So how do you study that? Yeah, what goes into it will be interesting. In a sense, how do you solve this crime? Somebody has made a crime, but how do you match that blood with that crime scene and find that person? This is a puzzle. Again, this is a puzzle that we will solve in this fourth or fifth section. So this is about this applications of anthropology. Okay, this is the section of application. This in Peanath. Okay, this in Peanath. So each of the section I am addressing one by one. So I want you to look at each section very closely, because each section is important. One more section is there. This is one of the most important sections in any option. If you see, all the options will have a section on thinkers. Okay, any option, you take whichever option you like, you will have a section on thinkers. These are the people who will tell you how this subject has evolved. It is very necessary for using these thinkers in your answers for getting a higher score. So for this thinkers, I used Gaya Pandey. There is a book called as Gaya Pandey, but I will give you notes for this, because this is a very complex and technical, many technical points will be there. So you don't have to worry. I am going to explain each of the thinkers separately, each of the thinkers explained clearly, each of the thinkers meaning, and also the notes which are there. So this is about this first paper. So whatever we have discussed is first paper. So next paper is this second paper is, we are coming to the second paper. Second paper is, so if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Minds of Aspirant. You can send this video to anyone who is preparing for civil services, and to your family members who want to know about civil services also. There is a Telegram channel, Minds of Aspirant official as well. You can click that link and join the group, and you can ask for whatever doubts that you have. And also you can click the bell icon so that you will get regular updates from Minds of Aspirant. Thank you. All the best.